So I did a live stream on January 6th, 2021, and as I said, a day that will live in infamy. You know, as we know, Donald Trump incited a riot, an attack, really, on the Capitol building, on the Congress, on our system of democracy. You know, I believe it runs the gamut from some protest to a lot of rioting, to insurrection, sedition, and terrorism. And people died. Kafifi in the comments mentioning he's amused by the guy who tasered himself in the junk, but horrified by the cop that got bludgeoned to death by the guy with the fire extinguisher. So yeah, going to talk about all that. But yeah, 5 people are dead in the wake of this open attack on the Capitol, democracy, and lawmakers, Democratic and Republican. So just want to kind of try to talk about what happened through the day. So we're going to start, where did the day start? Well, I mean, really, this has been years coming. A lot of people predicted this. As a journalist, I paid a professional price for talking about the dangers of Trump, the dangers that he posed. Get more into that later as well. But this didn't come out of nowhere. People talked about this, the danger that Trump posed and that his supporters pose. So, the day started, though, with a rally at the White House as the Congress was meeting to count the Electoral College votes, officially finalize Biden's victory as the President of the United States. Keep in mind, this is after 2 months of court cases, Trump's lawyers getting laughed out of court. Rudy Giuliani not ever once argued that he was arguing fraud. He was asked a couple times, actually, directly, are you alleging fraud? No, not alleging fraud. But despite all of that, and laughed out of court on so many other things, from little technicalities to these bigger accusations of, signature verification, all these other things, Trump is still insisting that the election was stolen, that there was somehow fraud and corruption, all of that. So he held this rally in front of the White House, and a lot of excuse makers are trying to say, oh, well, he said, we're going to do this peacefully and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's, you can say that all you want, but he also said things like this.
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
Never concede. It's not going to happen.
Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. And to use a favorite term that all of you people really came up with, we will stop the steal.
So again, have to say this as a journalist, as a person who cares about the historical record and who cares about the truth. The election was not stolen. There have been endless allegations. None have been proven. None proven in court. So poorly so that the Supreme Court wouldn't even take up any of his cases. So this is a lie. Trump has continually lied. And, we're going to get more into the importance of the lies and what dark stuff this signals when you keep doubling down on a lie like this. But he also said this.
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated.
So, have to be strong to take back our country. So he whipped this mob up into a frenzy, the MAGA mob, and said, "I'm going to march with you to the Capitol." Of course, he didn't. He just went right back, got in his limo, went back to the White House, and had a 5-star dinner or lunch or whatever it was, and watched the chaos that he had set off unfold on the Capitol Hill. There's a lot of controversy around how the Capitol Hill police handled this. They were woefully unprepared. Some of them open gates for, there's a lot of video of this. There's only so much video I can share in one live stream. But there's video you can find on Twitter and elsewhere of them opening the gates, moving some of these barriers, that is, to let them in. One cop was gesturing to them, waving, "Come on in, come on in." Gonna later see them taking selfies. But here, this video really shows kind of the scope of how unprepared they were at keeping back this mob of, people who really, I don't care that they believe lies, that they think they're justified in stopping what was going on. Doesn't matter. They were believing lies, and they were dedicated to destroying the process of democracy. And this is insurrection. This is, sedition. So check it out. Police are overwhelmed. These are the Capitol steps. This is where presidents are inaugurated. This is where Biden's supposed to be inaugurated in less than 2 weeks now. Totally overrun. And, as you could see in the photo here that I have next to me, they completely took over the Capitol steps for hours. They were planted there until it got dark. But of course, it's worth noting that historically, nothing like this has ever happened since literally the invasion of the British in 1814. Okay? When they set fire to the Capitol. On August 24th, 1814, British forces entered the capital city and set government buildings ablaze. In the lead up and aftermath of this event, Congress faced critical questions about the nation's and the capital city's future. This happened, not even the Confederacy, not even the forces of the Confederacy under Robert E. Lee ever made it to the Capitol, right? And of course, there's photos of people with flying the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag has finally made it to the Capitol in a seditious attack on the Capitol, and it was through Donald Trump's supporters. Okay, this is just incredible. Let's see. Kafifi said in the comments, the difference was that in 1814 it was DC forces actually put up resistance. Yeah, well, in some cases, in that battle, in some cases they fled. Like the president fled at the time. The White House, the food was said to have still been warm on the table. But yeah, the forces, the military forces and the Capitol security, they put up a fight. You're right.